Hey everyone, welcome to Conversations on Wellness with Gina Hansen. That's me and my girlfriend, Daria Rosen here. I'm super excited to share an exciting story with you of her weight loss journey and the spiritual aspects behind it and how she started with a word. She'll tell you the whole story. You stay tuned for that. Also, what I'd like you to do is if you're watching the replay or even as you come in, please go ahead and ask questions and we'll be able to share it here on the live stream. So yes, Daria, go ahead and tell us all about your amazing story.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Daria Rosen, and
Yes.
I met Gina when we were Perry girls.
Mhm.
So we are Perry sisters. So we met online. So here's the thing that you can make friendships with people online. Now, this
Mhm.
story and wellness. In 2019, in fact, that was one of the things that the Perry sisters said, let's do a word of the year. And I had thought about it and I said intention. And one of the things that I needed to do was to lose 100 plus. People don't think that I've gained that much weight, but I have. Um, and I didn't lose it. And my parents were
Mhm.
concerned, my husband was concerned, and yeah, I was concerned, but I didn't do anything about it.
Mhm.
Fast forward to 2020. And in the middle of the late spring, early summer, I just was not in a good place emotionally or mentally. And the trigger for me was the fires. I live in Northern California, and
Mhm.
our neighborhood had to prepare for evacuation. So this is the second or third time we've had to do so. So I know what the process is. I got things by the door, and it hit me. I don't know if you've ever watched National Geographic and you see the fast cats running and they separate the little ones or the infirmed from the herd. And all I could think of was if the cheetahs are going to get me, if I had to run, literally run for my life from the fire, I was going to be gotten. Um, so my prayer team and I had been praying because I said, I need a mindset change. My mind's not right. And a friend posted on social media
Mhm.
and it had a hashtag in it that I hadn't seen. So I clicked it and it showed other people's stories. And then I went to the website. And when I opened the website, it said, this is a mindset challenge. And I be careful what you pray for.
Yeah.
Because my response was, this isn't how I wanted the answer to my prayer.
Yeah.
But it was exactly what I needed. And so the program or the challenge was called 75 Hard. And I started in September, the day after, what's the holiday? Whatever the holiday is,
Oh,
Labor
Labor
Day.
Day. Yeah.
I started the Tuesday after Labor Day.
Mhm.
And by my 75th day on November 14th, I was down 36 and a half pounds. Now, remember, it's a mindset challenge. The things that I learned, because one of the things was if you miss any of the things that you were supposed to do during this challenge, you have to start over at day one because it's
Wow.
teaching you about your mindset. Because we
Yeah.
give ourselves excuses. I'm too tired. I'm too busy. I'm too whatever.
Right.
And this is sort of like, no, if you can't keep your word to yourself,
Mm.
who are you going to keep your word to?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there were days when it was bad, but I did it. And I did do it without having to start over. And now I'm continuing on because, yes, my mind, so it didn't cure my mind. It's much better. And so I'm in a much better place than I was this both physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So wellness is not just the body. It's
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Like there's the weight that we're carrying, there's a reason for it. It's a physical manifestation of something that we're lacking in our life emotionally. It could be relationship, it could be a job, it could be money, whatever, but we put it on ourselves we put it on
Yes.
ourselves, we can release it.
Yes.
Another thing is the way that our words that we use, like lose weight. You don't want to lose weight. You want to release it because you, you know, you brought it to you and now you can let it go.
Yes.
You
And,
know?
and and I've always known in the weight, I have used weight as a way to hide. It's
Yes.
it's sort of like it's a barrier. People respond to people differently when they're heavy than when they are not.
Mhm.
And it's like I wasn't comfortable with how I'm treated one way versus the other. So I've always used it to hide. And
Mhm.
what one of the good things is that you have used the app for years. Because if, like many of you who are watching, you've lost weight or you've released weight, but you
Yes.
pick it back up. And so I went back through the years and I saw a pattern. Once I got to a certain weight, it
Mm.
was like I would self sabotage and I'd go right back up. And so my husband said, well, now that you know that, what are you
Mhm.
going to do? I said, now that I know that, I can deal with that. I can deal with the attention. I can deal with how people respond. And again, it's mindset, mindset with a physical component.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's an internal transformation, an internal, and it what we are, who we're being is how we are.
Yes, yes,
If that makes
exactly.
sense to me. Yeah, I get it. I saw that you I saw some books, some really good books that you're reading, and I didn't know if that was part of the challenge.
Yes. So the
Mhm.
challenge, the requirements of the challenge are 2 45-minute workouts per day, one of which has to be outside. And they have to have like 3 hours within in between. So you can't just go outside and then go inside.
Oh.
Um, so it's making you be intentional about doing both.
Mhm.
Um, Drinking a gallon of water, reading 10 pages of a business or inspirational book per day, taking a um, a progress picture. And let me tell you, when you have to, there's one thing about looking in the mirror versus looking at a picture. Vastly different. We can
Yeah.
glance and go, but a picture. So every day the picture, um, eating clean, no cheat meals, and no alcohol. So the books that you saw were yes. I read
Mm.
6 or 7 within the 75 days. Um, Anything from Slight Edge to the Noticer. I wish you look. I can't remember all of them now, but they were because here is the thing. Remember, it's a mindset challenge, and wellness is a mindset. And if
Mhm.
your mind's not right,
Yeah.
so
So
yeah.
was there any education along the way? Like, did you have to buy anything or pay for anything at all?
No, that was the other thing that I loved about it.
Mhm.
It's completely free. You don't have to buy anything. Some people do buy a book, but he does podcasts, so you can actually see what you're supposed to do via podcast. They don't tell you what type of workouts you have to do.
Mhm.
It's what you can, what your body can handle.
Mhm.
They don't tell you what you have to eat. And so that was those things right there. I'm like, you're not telling me what exercises I need to do or what I need to eat,
Mhm.
but whatever you decide, particularly in the meals. And I chose vegan because to me it was just the easiest. If it's not a plant or bean or potato, I cannot eat it. And so
Mhm.
I didn't have to worry about, does this have sugar in it? Does it have? So for me, it was easy.
Yeah.
Um,
Were you vegan before? Was
many,
that a
many,
hard adjustment?
no, many, many years ago, I was vegan for many years for wellness, for wellness.
Mhm.
And I kind of slipped away, but I have still always cooked primarily vegan. So no, for us, it wasn't difficult at all. I was still cooking the same things that I typically cook.
I'm curious if your husband lost weight too. Because you cook for both of you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. He did lose weight. He said, "Oh, I'm on Chub Alert as well." But he would have lost more, but he would still have a glass of wine
Mm.
or a glass of beer and his cakes and cookies and whatnot. So he was still eating.
Oh.
but the main food, yes, but he did lose weight.
Yeah. That's cool that he supported you in that.
He did. Now I have to tell you, Gina, when I found it, when he came home, I showed it to him, and I was hoping he would say, "Oh, I'll do that with you." And
Uh-huh.
his response to me was, "I'll be here to cheerlead for you."
Yeah.
And he was an excellent, excellent cheerleader, because there were a couple of days when he'd say, "Did you finish?" I'm like, "Oh."
Can you tell me about a hard day for you? Like, I'm sure, like looking back now, into where you're at now, I'm sure was a hard day. Like one of your difficult days were like, oh my God, I just want to throw in the towel. Can you tell me how that went? Like, how did you get yourself past that point?
Actually, it was all hard because I fell several years ago, so my knees are very bad. So
Mhm.
basically, any walking every day, it was my knees and I had a conversation. But I would say one of the days I got food poisoning from, I believe, a salad.
Mhm.
Um, and then after that, I did not wish to drink any water. So that was a difficult day. Another day, I had a gallbladder attack out of the clear blue. It's like, where did that come from?
Mhm.
And I was in such excruciating pain, I could not walk. But I got the weights because I said, no, I cannot start over. I will not start over. So I'm sitting there. And even when it felt like I was going to lose my food, I
Mm.
would just take the weights into the restroom.
Yeah. You're funny.
and but you know what? Yes. But you know what that said to me? All of the other times when I said, for whatever reason that I said, oh, I'm tired, or oh, I don't feel well. No, I really, really didn't. And I could have done whatever it was. But this showed me that 75 days that it's like, no, you know what? You can actually do way, way more,
Mhm.
and in worse circumstances than you've even imagined. So those were a couple of hard days.
Yeah.
I jokingly said to, because of course there are Facebook groups and people are supporting one another. And
Mm.
I said to them, it said we had to drink a gallon of water. It did not say we had to keep a gallon of water down. So I technically I drank my gallon of water that day.
Oh, I love it. So there was no individual coaching. You're in a group setting and you all worked with each other on and learning what worked for you specifically. Is that what it
No,
was?
no, no, no. It's just you, completely
You.
you.
You make the rules.
You
You
make the, I
decide what
mean,
kind of
here's your
exercise.
guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
You make the rules. And most of my morning workout was walking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the evening workouts, some days I walked just because it was easier. And other days I would do stretches, I would do dancing, I would do chair workouts. Those chair
Mm-hmm.
workouts, don't let a chair workout fool you. They I call myself cheating, going, oh, I'll do an easy workout. But that is what, now for people who work out and lift weights and do those kinds of things, that's what they did. But I was going from, I can barely walk. So, I couldn't do some of the other things. Now, as I've gotten stronger, I've been able to add certain things. So yeah, it's all in what your body can do and how you wish to do it.
I think you have done this perfectly for yourself, right? Because this is your mindset and this is your strategy for creating the life that you want to have.
Mhm.
So, what does it look like? What is this destination? Tell me about the person that you're becoming.
I don't take as I am more likely to say, Daria, that's an excuse. Get over it. Um, the and there have been things that where I would say, well, I'll do it later. I will do it now. Because and so those are the kind of things. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had my days because even once I was finished, there are actually 4 phases of this thing. It's actually a year program.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't go into the second, or what is called phase one. The first 75 days is basically the boot camp.
Hmm.
The first phase one, you do all of the same things. You add a 5-minute cold shower, not cool,
Yeah.
cold.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, ooh. So but I've been doing the water. I've been doing the exercises. I've been
Mhm.
doing the reading. I just haven't wrapped my mind around the the cold shower. So I
Yeah.
haven't moved on to phase one yet. So you can see there still is room for improvement in mindset. People
Mhm.
ask, why would they want you to do a cold shower? Most people don't run to do a cold shower. It's something
Mhm.
that we would dread. And so it's that anticipation of something that you thoroughly dislike and don't want to do, but yet overcoming it. Because
Mhm.
remember, this whole thing is mindset
Mhm.
and self-discipline. That's what the whole thing is. So I'm still evolving. I'm still working.
I love it. This is great. I mean, in such a short amount of time, you've already picked up your energy. Would you say your energy, anything, your probably your mental clarity, anything else that you've benefited from?
I when I first started the first night, we walked probably a 3-block square from our home.
Mhm.
And for the 45 minutes, because I would set the timer for the 45 minutes. And my husband said, do I need to go home and get the car? Because I was in excruciating pain the very first day. I said, no. If I have to crawl, I'm going to crawl because I don't want to start over.
Mhm.
Well, now I can walk. Let's see, the furthest that I've walked in a day now in the 2 separate workouts is 6 miles and some. So I figured it this way. If I had to run, if I had to run now, I could hop along a little bit quicker. So so now I say, as long since the cheaters are chasing me, I just
Right.
need to be faster than one other person.
Oh, I love it. This is so inspiring. I'm sure your loved ones look at you and they're like, "Wow, what are you doing?" Right?
Yes.
They're really proud
And
of you.
they were the biggest. I mean, my family and friends have been the biggest cheerleaders, my prayer partners. In fact, now all of my prayer team, one of them started um, the challenge a month after I did. So she will be
Mhm.
finished on the 14th of December. And the other two, while they're not doing the challenge, they are actually walking and drinking more water. My mother's drinking more water. I mean, different
Mhm.
people have said, Daria, we saw that you did that. And remember, I'm not a spring chicken. So, and most of the people in the challenge are young people, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. And I'm like, okay, where are our senior citizens?
Oh, I wanted to ask you because I know that you have a business about aging gracefully, right?
Yes.
So tell me about that.
Okay. So aging gracefully is what I have named my business. And my tagline is aging gracefully inside and out. Because it's not just who we are on, even though the products that provide help,
Mhm.
some work on the outside, some work on the inside, but it's even more than that. It's who we are as people on the inside, because all of us know people who are gorgeous or handsome on the outside, but they are ugly. And that's what comes out. So it's aging gracefully what you do, how you treat others, but then also with our clean products. So that's
I love it. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, how what we say and how we, what we see, like the book. you know,
yes.
you open it, it's either you're gonna close it or you're gonna put it on the back on the shelf. You're gonna read it.
Exactly, exactly. So
hmm
what I wanted to do while I was here was to just give you an idea. So from the wellness, since we're talking about wellness today,
Yeah.
I wanted to just share a couple of the things very quickly that we
hmm
have, because a lot of things in regard to wellness, sleep.
hmm
A lot of people are not getting a lot of sleep, or they sleep but they can't stay asleep, and that kind of thing. And so
And
the
when you
circadian, huh?
age, your circadian. It seems like from watching my grandmother, like your circadian clock kind of changes when you're older too, right? Like,
Yes, yes. And so
yeah.
that is one of the things that we have. We have a sleep and an energy chew. And
hmm
if you're old enough to remember nowalators, we have the little dark one is at night,
Ah.
and you just take it and it puts you to sleep. And then in the day, when people crash in the afternoon or whatnot and
Mhm.
they need Red Bull or coffee, they take an energy chew. And so what it does is it helps balance, and it doesn't give
Mhm.
people the groggy feeling. It doesn't help. I
Mhm.
mean, it just keeps things smoothed out.
Yes.
So
No caffeine.
no caffeine,
Nice.
no caffeine.
Great. Yeah, I think sleep is probably one of the things that people don't consider. And it's so important, especially right now with all of with the pandemic and all of that, you know, that fear thinking,
Yes,
that we've got in our minds, and worry and doubt and grief and all of that, it's all the low vibrational frequency emotions. And so sleep is so important to do
yes,
that. And then I love that part of your challenge was getting outdoors, because
yes,
that is very important for me, because I know, like, that's where you can get grounded and peace, and like you remember gratitude, being outdoors with nature and all that. So,
yes. In fact, today, I mean, some of the most beautiful times is watching the sunrise over the mountains.
mhm,
And in that being outside, um,
mhm,
now you are in a tropical place, and I'm in fairly good weather here in Northern California, but it does get
mhm,
chilly. And when I look at the people who lived in the cold climates and they were still doing this challenge outside in the teens, or the people who lived in the desert, in the summer when it was hot and they were out there in the hundreds.
yeah,
And I kind of felt mine really isn't hard, but it's all relative, because the first day that it was 50 degrees, the morning that I went outside, it was like, ooh. And now most mornings it's 37, 39 when we're out, and it just
mhm,
feels so wonderful. And I thought, okay, who is this person?
yeah. That's awesome. So you think you're happier as well? Like, you just feel more like gratitude and love and joy? Do
I
you
would
feel that?
I Yes, I
Mhm,
would. I would say that this year for a lot of people it's been difficult. But
mhm,
I think it has been a time to be able to look at the things that are truly the most important, the
mhm,
smaller things, and just being grateful for, being able to be up and be outside and walking and being able to breathe and being able to see and all of those kind of things. So I've always been fairly positive.
mhm,
Um, but I just think that this year a much, there's much, much more gratitude and gratefulness and thankfulness
mhm.
and appreciation.
Yes. Well, I appreciate you spending time with me here today, and sharing your story, because I think there's just too many people that want what you want, the same thing. They want the same thing, and they don't know how to get it. Same like you. Your story is someone else's story, right? It's someone in the world needs to hear your story so they know that there's going to be hard days, but how much do you want it? How
Correct.
much do you want your health? So, and then also, I just find it so inspiring that you're doing this differently. Like most people look at a product or look at a type of diet, keto, paleo, like that is the salvation, or exercise, CrossFit, but they don't look at the wholeness of who we are,
Correct.
our spirit, our mind, our body. It's all important. So thank
Correct.
you for pointing the spotlight on total wellness today.
You
And
are
I
quite
appreciate you.
welcome, and thank you for inviting me. So, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know me, and if
Mhm.
you've got questions or want to know about the challenge, want
Yeah.
to know about the wellness products, or just want to know more about me, you can reach me at info@dariarosen.com, .com, and on social media, you can find me at Daria Rosen.
Nice. So Daria Rosen on IG and Twitter.
Yes,
Okay.
and Periscope.
Scope. Yeah.
You
Same.
can
Easy. All
Yes,
this.
nice and easy. And even
Yeah.
my website is Daria Rosen.
Nice. Nobody's gonna forget your name.
I know, huh?
Thank you so much for your time today. And anyone watching on the replay, please post your comments and Daria will be back to answer them. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow for more conversations on wellness.
Thank
Thank you.
you.